Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through those fears and live an awesome life. Fear is the only thing stopping you from doing anything, right? You can say, oh, no, it's so-and-so doing this, so-and-so doing it. No, because when you have something that you believe is blocking you, there's a belief that places fear that stops you from moving forward or doing certain things or believing that you can have certain things or that somebody else is at fault for you not having certain things. That is all fear-based. That you don't have control, that you are not powerful, that you're never going to achieve your goals. There's a fear behind that, a belief that creates the fear, right? So this whole channel is about breaking through that fear, not eliminating it. My e-course is called Breakthrough Fear. It is not called Eliminate or End Fear. It is part of the human collective consciousness, and to try and end it creates a battle. Whatever you oppose, you're focused on, and you're focused on the negativity of the thing that you want to end. Therefore, you're actually manifesting that. The universe is so sensitive that there's nothing that you're thinking about that you want to manifest that it doesn't pick up on if there's a belief behind it that negates it. In other words, if you want something and you want it, you want to manifest, you really want, and there's any kind of fear which exudes a feeling, a negative feeling, back here going, I need it, when am I going to have it, or I'm not going to get it, or this never happens for me, whatever. If it's this big, boom. The message is that you truly don't believe it. So you can say all the things you want, but the belief is your power. The belief is your power. So this is why, I tell you guys, law of attraction, all this stuff, if you're just believing and you know that you have the power, and here is where we have to go in and start to reprogram ourselves from all the garbage we've been told, because we've been told we don't have the power. We've been told we need other people. We've been told it's bad to be rich. We've been told that to say you have power is going against God. Are you kidding? We are from the most incredible love and light that you can't possibly, as a human being, imagine. I've experienced it. I know a lot of you have. There's no judgment. And that's another thing we've been told. Why? It keeps you in check. And if there is an outside source saying you have to behave this way, you have to give money to the church, it's bad to be wealthy, keep working like a hard person. This is all programming, and we don't want to believe that because it has been, let's just say, cloaked in something different than what it is. And a lot of that comes from their programming. There's no one at fault. We have our own individual power. There's no blame. It just is. And it's just part of our planetary history, and we're changing it. We're here right now to change it. So I'm going to start doing exercises with you. I promised I would start doing this. I'm going to do this more and more as the channel goes on, because we can talk about this a lot, and a lot of the feedback I get is, well, how do I do it? And I'm like, well, did you watch the video? But then I realize no one is easily going to switch out of that way of thinking if they're deeply entrenched in it without some kind of trigger. So I've done quite a few videos where I've had you guys, just focus on something. One is when you have a negative thought, stop yourself. This is where you have to be very aware of the moment. Stop yourself and say, why am I thinking this? Not so you can go into some deep analytical, because my parents didn't love me. No, why am I thinking this? In other words, what good purpose is there from me thinking a negative thought? And usually, I don't know about you, when I think, why am I thinking that? There's silence. I don't even have another thought. Because I can't come up with a reason other than conditioning of the ego constantly having to make comments about things, and not all of them are nice. And sometimes you don't think they're bad, but if they're judgment of any kind, it's not on a higher frequency. You're allowed to have your opinions. Now, don't be afraid to be human. But we're going to start to switch out of that negative human behavior that doesn't really serve any good purpose. So I want to do exercise with you today. I know you guys love this. I love it. I love creating them because I actually practice all these things myself and adjust them according to how I feel. So I want to ask you one question. Now, a lot of you can't even answer this. What would you receive right now, unconditionally, if you could have right now, would change your life? What would you desire right now that you feel would change your life, of course, for the better? What is that thing that you desire right now? You get to choose what it is. There's no judgment. You're like, oh, I shouldn't pick a material thing. If the material thing, if it's a house or a car that would improve your life, now you can go ahead and pick those things just for glorification purposes, but you are just demonstrating to yourself that you're probably still hung up on the material world that is never going to satisfy you. If that's where you are, that's okay. There's no judgment there. Eventually you'll realize that you can have all these things, but they'll not have the same meaning to you because you're going to be entrenched in what's truly, let's say, important. And that is a higher frequency, sharing with others, love, sending your power. See, the real true thing is not to get a bunch of money to fix the world. It's sending your light and love and healing out every day. You have more power in the unseen than any bank account has to give to charities. And I mean that. And if we all did that, this world would be a different place, and we need to start doing that. So if you had that thing right now, pick what it is. Pause the video if you're really not clear on it. You have to be clear on this. So many people just aren't clear. Well, I want this and this and this and this and this. No, the one thing right now that would positively change your life. All right, so I want you to think about this. You can write it down if you want to. You don't have to. But now here's my next question. If you had that thing right now, how would you live, act differently than you are right now? What would you do? What would you actually do differently because of that thing in your life? What would you do? And think about that. All right? So let's say it's a house. And by the way, I'm not going down this road for any particular reason. I just want to point some things out to you that you might want to start thinking about to get yourself to a higher frequency. If you name something like a house because you're in a very bad situation or whatever, and it's just the house you want, are the feelings behind the house that the house is what will make you happy? Or is the house just an asset and you're already happy? You see, if you're already in a happy, wonderful place, and the house, you have positive feelings toward the house because, yeah, it would make your life easier. It'd be really nice to have a nicer home, some security, so you're not fixing the doors and whatever you have to do. List that. Just name, what is that? What is behind that? Do I feel that thing? If I had it, how would I be different? Do you believe it's going to make you happy? Is my question. Or do you believe that it's just going to be a really fun, great experience and it would help or whatever? The reason I'm asking this is because just remember that every time you think a thing is going to make you feel differently, and it will, of course it will. I mean, it's really cool to get stuff. It's like, yay! And then sometimes you get the stuff and you go, oh, okay, I didn't feel like I thought it was going to. It's great. Abundance is wonderful. You should experience abundance. But when that feeling is that you are in a deep, dark place and that thing is what you feel is going to change your frequency, your spiritual being, whatever, It's not going to. If you can work on getting yourself to the place where you are spiritually happy, that's a tough one. That thing actually will show up quicker and easier because you're not expecting it to make you happy. And therefore, the message to the universe is, this is part of the abundance and the joy I'm on now. It's on that frequency. I would love a home. That'd be beautiful. I'd love travel. I'd love a new car. Whatever it is, you're on that frequency. Now, if you're coming from down here and you're like, oh, it would make me happy, it would save everything, then right now I'm going to tell you, you're sending the message, I don't have it. I am not a happy person. I don't have power. That thing is elusive. So if that's where you're coming from when you think about the thing and how would I live differently, I'm going to tell you right now, those feelings of insecurity and all that stuff don't go away when you get the thing. Because there'll always be something else you need, and you have got to work on raising that frequency if you want to go to the higher realms of abundance and joy where you are feeling wonderful with or without the thing, and then the thing shows up and it no longer controls your happiness, it's a bonus. So as I shared with you before, when you go to a higher frequency, you're up here and you get the thing and maybe there's some loss. And then you get the thing, and then there's some loss. When you are coming from a place of lack and unhappiness, thinking a thing that will fix you, you're down here, your frequency's down here, and you're going boom, bing, boom, bing, boom, bing, boom, boom. Actually, you probably never even go up here. You're boom, 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 down here, right? Because you're controlled by the material world that is really not who you are. It's what you're manifesting out there as just part of our creative process. So the thing that you desire, how would you live your life differently? And if you're feeling negatively right now, understand that that will be the third component that is out of check. And that's where you can meditate. You can start to really look deep into what it is you're unhappy about that makes you think that thing's going to correct it. I know some of you aren't going to like this video because y'all want the things. Everybody wants a thing. It's going to make me happy. I'll get the thing and then I'll go and meditate for 20 years. It won't work that way. Meditating now and getting your frequency up is what gets you all this stuff. And then it doesn't have the same meaning. You're not looking for it to make you happy. And that's when you're truly at a peaceful, happy place. And you're manifesting like crazy. I do. And I'll tell you when I know when it's out of check. I can tell when it is not in alignment for whatever reason. And I'm like, am I meditating? What's going on here? And I just don't do anything. I just sit with it. So ask yourself, how would I live differently if I had that thing? Would it actually make me happier? Probably, of course it would. It's nice to have that thing. But is that really making me happy because the thing is making me happy? That thing doesn't make anybody happy. That thing is a wonderful bonus of abundance. We know that there are a lot of wealthy people who are extremely unhappy. Look at the people who've just committed suicide. Anthony Bourdain, Kate Spade. You look at them, you think they have everything. All those things can be manifested and come to you. All of them. Start working on this and ask yourself, what is that thing? So when you think of the thing that you want coming into your life, and then you imagine, how would I behave? How would I act and how would I behave differently? Those are great visions to have in your head because that helps manifest. Those are two great things. So now you have to start working on the frequency to go into that place. So vision is important. If you guys sign up for it comes out here, it says inspiration, subscribe for inspiration. That's my email list where I give you stuff. I actually have a digital manifesting movie that you can create on there. I think you have to be on there for a couple weeks, I guess, a few weeks before it shows up. it shows you, like, how do you visualize that? And it gets you into that feeling of having it. How would I act? So you have to know how you would live your life having that thing. How would I act differently today? What would I be doing? Well, maybe I wouldn't be going to work every day. I'd be on a plane going to whatever. Or you say, you know, I wouldn't be in an unsafe neighborhood. I'd be out looking at mountains right now with my family in a very safe home, or whatever it is. Envision how you would be living with that thing, that situation, that object, that relationship, whatever it is. Envision how you would live right today. What would you do today if you had it? And then start to go into that place of joyfulness, of knowing that it is there, and that you have to raise that frequency and know that that's not going to make you happy, but how wonderful is that? And that I'm a joyous person anyways, and that's where we disconnect, because it's tough for us to find that joy without having a thing to go to. So we're going to keep working on that. This is the most difficult part, this is why we keep looking for things to make us happy, and then we can't find it. We get there, and then we're like, or we're not quite there, or whatever, and we're still not happy, and then we keep clinging for things and it's not working. It's pushing us to go in here and say, you have to get this in check. You have to raise this frequency. The doors of abundance will open. Blow your mind. Seriously, the stuff's happened to me. It's like, you can't make this stuff up, and I've done it with you guys on here. I've had videos, talked about things, and a couple days later had manifestations, crazy manifestations. Do you remember the vacation? I gave an example. I said, if you're broke and you want to go on this, you know, expensive vacation, don't question that. I would love the vacation. Here's what I would do today if I was doing that. You better give notice to work or whatever, go on the vacation. And then feel that joy in that spot, not just about the vacation, but just start feeling that joy. It helps you get to that place where you're elevating your frequency. 2 days later, my friend called me and said, what are you doing whatever week? And I said, I don't know why. And she said, first class vacation, free. All you have to do is show up. Somebody dropped out and she had this free vacation available. I didn't have to pay a cent. There's no coincidences. And by the way, she doesn't watch my channel. So she didn't even know I said that. There's no coincidences. Come on. Have you ever had anybody do that to you? I haven't. That's like a 1 in a million shot, especially right after I said it. So this is what happens. When you're on a higher frequency, when you say those things or envision it, they show up. What you're doing right now is you're on the lower frequency, the third component. Visualize, imagining how I would feel right now, feeling good. And that third component is that your essence every day is not feeling good. Raise that up, boom, these things show up. So let's keep working on that. Envision that thing. How would I act right now? How would my life change? You know this exists right now, right? So when you envision that, it's real. Now when you go here in that third component, here, if it's doubt, fear, block, 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 block. Boom, I know it's here. Oh, then I start to feel good about life, about everything. It's not like just the thing you're envisioning. It's like, oh, there's a little stray kitty. I'll go take care of it. Oh, there's my neighbor. I'll go trim the tree in his lawn. Oh, here's a salesman knocking on my door. You know what? I don't want what you're giving me, but good luck to you. Smile. Oh, the annoying person calling you, trying to sell you some stupid condo vacation or whatever. You know what? I'm not interested, but thank you for calling. Have a nice day. We can still keep that higher frequency no matter what. All right, I know this was a lengthy video, but I want you to understand how this works. It's the triangle, the pyramid, right? The higher frequency, all the things that come from it. Start working on that, and you will change the world. Not just yourself, you change the world. You're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Sign up for my inspiration. I'm going to start cranking out some events and e-courses and all kinds of stuff. And I hope that you will be a part of that, because it will be life-changing for you if you practice these things. Blessings and miracles to you, my friend. Namaste.